Transforming AI economics with procedural memory. A research team from Zhejiang University and Alibaba Group has introduced Memp, a framework that gives large language model, LLM, agents a form of procedural memory designed to make them more efficient at complex, multi-step tasks. Instead of every query consuming capacity on high-priced foundation models, enterprises can train once and deploy repeatedly on smaller engines priced at a fraction of the cost, said Sanchit Gogia, Chief Analyst and CEO at Greyhound Research. This train with the best, run with the rest logic brings order of magnitude savings in high-volume workloads. The economic implication is profound, Gogia added. AI agents can improve over time without increasing unit costs, delivering cumulative ROI rather than ballooning expenses. For CIOs and CFOs alike, this provides a predictability that has so far been absent from enterprise AI financial planning. Gogia added that risks also include drift, where agents rely on outdated routines, poisoning, where flawed or malicious inputs corrupt memory, and opacity, where decisions are based on hidden stored steps. As quoted in Computer World, in an article authored by Procedural by Thomas published on August 28, 2025. Beyond the media quote, our view in full. Press for time? You can focus solely on the Greyhound flashpoints that follow. Each one distills the full analysis into a sharp, executive-ready takeaway, combining our official standpoint, validated through Pulse data from ongoing CXO trackers, and grounded in field notes from real-world advisory engagements. Can procedural memory materially change enterprise AI deployment costs? Greyhound Flashpoint, procedural memory could be a turning point in the economics of AI deployment. By allowing smaller, cheaper models to inherit the capabilities of larger ones, enterprises can sharply reduce reliance on heavyweight foundation models and cut redundant computation. Per Greyhound CIO Pulse 2025, 67% of CIOs globally identify escalating inference costs as their most pressing barrier to AI adoption. Our evaluations show agents completing tasks in far fewer steps and tokens when drawing on prior experience, with compute reductions reaching up to 56% on long-horizon reasoning tasks. Greyhound Research maintains that this represents not an incremental saving, but a structural shift, moving AI from an unpredictable OPEX line item to a manageable, scalable cost center. Greyhound standpoint. According to Greyhound Research, procedural memory introduces a two-tier cost model. Learn with the largest model, execute with the smallest viable one. Instead of every query consuming capacity on high-priced foundation models, enterprises can train once and deploy repeatedly on smaller engines priced at a fraction of cost. This train with the best, run with the rest, logic brings order of magnitude savings in high-volume workloads. The economic implication is profound. AI agents can improve over time without increasing unit costs, delivering cumulative ROI rather than ballooning expenses. For CIOs and CFOs alike, this provides the predictability that has so far been absent from enterprise AI financial planning. Greyhound Pulse. Greyhound CIO Pulse 2025 indicates 58% of Fortune 1000 CIOs in North America have either paused or scaled back agent pilots because token usage exceeded projected budgets, with 41% reporting overspend of 25% or more. Across Europe and Asia-Pacific, CIOs echo the same concern. Inference costs are the single largest inhibitor to scaling beyond proofs of concept. Procedural memory directly addresses this by reducing retries, minimizing exploration cycles, and allowing smaller models to run workflows once restricted to large models. Where enterprises once saw a spiraling cost curve, they can now forecast a plateau, making AI expansion financially sustainable. Greyhound Field Note. Per a recent Greyhound Field Note from a European retail bank, an AI support pilot was suspended when token usage doubled during stress testing, making the economics untenable. Every customer interaction demanded repeated large model queries, and the CIO deemed the per ticket cost higher than staffing call centers. With procedural memory, the bank now sees a revival path. Once trained, troubleshooting flows could be distilled into lighter models to handle the majority of queries, with escalation to the large model reserved for novel cases. This friction demonstrates the tangible economic impact. Without efficiency, projects collapse under cost pressure. With it, they can scale confidently. Which enterprise workflows stand to gain most from procedural memory? Greyhound Flashpoint. Procedural memory has immediate applicability in domains where tasks are structured yet prone to variation. finance, IT operations, customer service, supply chain management, and compliance all fit this profile. Per Greyhound CIO Pulse 2025, 62% of enterprises identify process rigidity as a bottleneck in AI pilots, particularly when workflows span multiple systems and steps. Procedural memory overlays an orchestration layer that allows agents to capture successful runs and reuse them, thereby sidestepping brittle prompt scripts. Greyhound Research believes this is the bridge that allows AI agents to evolve from pilot projects into true operational workhorses. Greyhound standpoint. According to Greyhound Research, procedural memory will first transform repetitive, exception-laden workflows where human expertise today absorbs disproportionate costs. In finance, this means invoice reconciliation and month-end closes. In IT, ticket resolution and runbook execution. In supply chain, exception handling for orders and shipments. And in customer service, multi-step resolutions for refunds or claims. Because procedural memory functions at the orchestration layer, adoption does not require disruptive ERP or CRM overhauls. Enterprises can begin by capturing trajectories, filtering for success, and deploying them to lighter models for execution. This incremental approach addresses the demand for tactical wins while avoiding the risk of multi-year transformations. Greyhound Pulse. Greyhound CIO Pulse 2025 shows 55% of CIOs prioritize customer support and IT operations for AI investment, citing measurable ROI and rapid time to value. Meanwhile, 48% of CFOs globally view financial exception handling as ripe for automation, but admit most pilots have been abandoned due to integration headaches. Procedural memory resolves this by capturing proven workflows once and reapplying them, reducing dependency on brittle integrations. These domains not only hold the greatest efficiency upside, but also the lowest barriers to adoption when memory is applied at the orchestration layer. Greyhound Field Note. Per a recent Greyhound Field Note from a logistics firm in Singapore, a customs clearance agent pilot collapsed when ERP integration changes caused constant workflow failures. The CIO concluded that full system integration was unfeasible at that stage. Procedural memory reframed the challenge. Instead of building a perfect integration, the team could log validated clearance steps and replay them on lighter models for daily execution. This highlights both the opportunity and the friction. Enterprises want automation without wholesale re-engineering. Procedural memory delivers that balance, which is why we see adoption in customer service, IT, finance, and logistics leading the charge. What new risks do evolving procedural memories create for enterprises? Greyhound Flashpoint. Continuous updating of procedural memory introduces new risks that CIOs must treat as governance critical. Accuracy drift, memory poisoning, compliance violations, and auditability gaps are among the most pressing. Per Greyhound CIO Pulse 2025, 49% of CIOs globally rank AI unpredictability in compliance-sensitive workflows as their top concern. Greyhound Research emphasizes that procedural memory is as much a governance challenge as it is a performance breakthrough. The mechanism that empowers efficiency is the same that, if unmanaged, can amplify errors at enterprise scale. Greyhound standpoint. According to Greyhound Research, procedural memory must be treated as a regulated knowledge asset. Risks include drift, where agents embed outdated routines, poisoning, where malicious or flawed inputs corrupt memory, and opacity, where decisions stem from unseen stored steps. Compliance exposure is especially acute. Retaining procedural trajectories is functionally equivalent to storing regulated records under GDPR or HIPAA. Our view is clear. Without layered governance controls, memory undermines trust faster than it delivers savings. With strict write controls, provenance metadata, and continuous monitoring, procedural memory becomes the foundation of enterprise-grade AI, not a liability. Greyhound Pulse. Greyhound CIO Pulse 2025 reveals that 52% of CIOs in regulated industries are delaying memory-driven AI due to auditability concerns, with 37% insisting on immutable, time-stamped logs of every update before approving deployment. This demonstrates that adoption hinges on governance scaffolding as much as on technical capability. Enterprises will demand confidence that they can monitor drift, quarantine poison memories, and demonstrate compliance-ready audit trails. For most CIOs, procedural memory will only be sanctioned once these conditions are in place. Greyhound Field Note. Per a recent Greyhound Field Note from a North American healthcare provider, an AI scheduling pilot failed when procedural memory continued using outdated patient referral steps after a system update. This delayed care and created HIPAA exposure. The CIO's lesson was unequivocal. Version memory, gated approvals, and automated drift monitoring are non-negotiable. This friction is emblematic of the broader risk. Without governance, procedural memory embeds errors at scale. With the right controls, from red teaming to compliance binding, enterprises can harness the benefits while satisfying regulators and board alike. Analyst in focus, Sanchit Gogia. Sanchit Gogia, or SVG as he is popularly known, is a globally recognized technology analyst, innovation strategist, digital consultant, and board advisor. SVG is the chief analyst, founder and CEO of Greyhound Research, a global, award-winning technology research, advisory, consulting, and education firm. Greyhound Research works closely with global organizations, their CXOs, and the board of directors on technology and digital transformation decisions. SVG is also the founder and CEO of the House of Greyhound, an eclectic venture focusing on interdisciplinary innovation. Copyright policy. All content contained on the Greyhound Research website is protected by copyright law and may not be reproduced, distributed, transmitted, displayed, published, or broadcast without the prior written permission of Greyhound Research or, in the case of third-party materials, the prior written consent of the copyright owner of that content. You may not alter, delete, obscure, or conceal any trademark, copyright, or other notice appearing in any Greyhound Research content. We request our readers not to copy Greyhound Research content and not republish or redistribute them, in whole or partially, via emails or republishing them in any media, including websites, newsletters, or intranets. We understand that you may want to share this content with others, so we've added tools under each content piece that allow you to share the content. If you have any questions, please get in touch with our community relations team at connect@thoffer.com.